What's up, guys? This is Corey here with Concert Crep, and I'm here speaking with Aaron Stone from the band My Epic. How you doing today, Aaron?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks, Corey.
All right, man. Let's get right into it. I know you guys have been a band for a few years now, but for new fans and for those who haven't heard of you yet, who exactly is My Epic?
My Epic is four guys. Aaron is me, my brother Jesse, and two of my really good friends, Jeremiah and Tanner. And we started about 10 years ago, and then in 2008, signed with Jason Records, and we put out 3 full lengths, and about to put out our second EP with the label just in a week, actually.
All right, so let's talk about that new EP, Viscera, which is out May 6th. Can you explain about the recording and the writing process with that?
Yeah, we did 4 songs and kind of added a little instrumental track. We kind of just decided at this stage in our career that making albums was getting harder and harder to make full-length records, but we still wanted to do something really high quality. So we decided, let's try to just do like one EP every year, because we think we can do higher quality if we focus on a smaller batch of songs. And so we're kind of trying to do just one EP per year, and then one tour per year. And kind of just like, we think we can do a much better job. So anyway, the new EP is called Viscera. It's 5 tracks. It comes out on May 6th, and pre-orders are up now, so I'd love anybody to grab it who can. But we're really proud of it. It's definitely think it's, you always hope as an artist that your new stuff is your best stuff, and we feel like this is some of the best stuff we've ever done, and we're super excited about it. But there's a theme to the record, and it's kind of all wrapped around the title of Viscera. Yeah, I don't know how much more specific you want me to be than that, because I can be way more specific.
Can you talk about that theme a little more?
Yeah, sure. So, actually got to go to Israel last year with my wife.
Oh, wow.
And that was pretty cool. As a person who believes in Jesus Christ, it was just weird to be in a place where I've read all these stories for 30 years. It's kind of like if you grew up reading the Chronicles of Narnia, and then you actually got to go to Narnia. And so the difference being that I always knew that Israel was a real place, and I always knew that I wasn't just reading fake stories, but it was really, really impactful. And the main word that I kept thinking was, it's just so visceral. I just kept telling my wife, it's just so visceral. And I like words a lot. I like meanings of words, and so I'd never looked up kind of the etymology of that word. And I did, and it comes from the Latin viscera, which is a Latin term for the internal organs. And so you say something's visceral if you really feel it, kind of in your gut. If the movie's visceral or a song is. And so I started thinking more about that. And so we kind of the theme of the record is there's 4 songs, and we kind of denoted each song is to one of the major internal organs. Depending on who you ask or where you look, they list different organs as counting as part of the viscera. But basically, there's a song that kind of comes from the gut, kind of deals with like fear and confidence. There's a song that comes from the lungs and kind of deals with the centrality of our faith and of our belief, kind of being the air that we breathe. There's a song that deals with the mind, and there's a song that deals with the heart. And so that's Viscera. And then there's like a little instrumental track in the middle to kind of just make the record feel right.
Is this
the songs did? Yeah.
How does like this EP differ from your previous work?
Well, I mean, I think we just keep evolving. I think the only really big outlier is we did an acoustic EP a couple of years ago called Broken Voice, and that was like clearly stepping aside to do something different that we just thought would be fun. But for the most part, I think our stuff just keeps kind of evolving. We definitely kind of feel like our record that came out in 2010, which is called Yet, was kind of where we finally figured out who we were. We're sort of a really heavy band that has singing and has a lot of ambience involved, and in our heaviness, there's a lot of groove. That's kind of like what we do. And so with Behold, which was the next full length after Yet, it was kind of this. Well, to us, it wasn't a big change, but a lot of other people felt like it was. But it was really just that we grew a little bit as artists, and we added a 4th member, so we were able to add a lot of like ambient textures that we liked. So on top of this raw, heavy kind of progressive rock and roll, there with like overtones of like the Deftones. Some people may say like Thrice or something. We were able to add this ambience, and then this new record just kind of carries on. We've actually heard from a few people that it reminds them a little bit more of Yet, but it definitely to us is another just step in that continued path. So I think if they liked Behold and they liked Yet, there's a really good chance they're gonna like this record. But I think it's even better songs. So
I know you mentioned that you said you guys were planning on releasing like EPs within the coming years. Do you have like already have those planned out? Like do you already know what you're planning on like releasing and how you're going to release it or how it's going to sound? Is it going to be similar to this at all?
we don't have it quite all figured out so much as the plan is just to try to do an EP. If we can do 3 to 5 songs a year, then we feel like we could accomplish. Basically, in the long run, for our fans and for ourselves, we feel like we can release more music if we do a few songs a year instead of trying to do a full length and killing ourselves and needing like a year and a half to recover.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, there's no plans other than we just want to go back in studio late this year, early next year, and do another EP. And as far as like what it'll sound like, I mean, I've got tons of ideas for concepts. I think we like doing smaller pieces of art that all relate to each other. Like, you know, like this whole EP is a concept. Behold was a concept. I mean, it's not like they're heavy-handed concepts, but we have a lot of ideas for the next thing, but we haven't quite nailed it down yet. We've talked about maybe returning back and doing like another Broken Voice type project, like another, because I kind of write some acoustic stuff on the side. But we've been really excited lately about writing more heavy, big, ambient, beautiful songs, and so that we've done more of that. So no, not exactly, but there's a plan to have a plan. So that's where we're at.
Let's get back to Viscera. What's been like the feedback for the songs that have been released that people have heard already?
Man, they've been overwhelmingly positive. You know, like you kind of expect people to just there to be a decent amount of naysayers, especially if people like something you make. I mean, you think back to a lot of your favorite bands, if they make a record that really impacts you, and it's usually the first record you hear from them. It's hard to like anything they do as much as that because it just was such an important part of your life. And not that we're a big band, but for a lot of people, like really liked Yet, and some people really liked Behold, and so we kind of expected a lot of pushback. You know, oh, this is cool, but it's not quite as cool as this, or it's not quite as cool as that. But honestly, the response has been overwhelmingly positive, and even a lot of people who I guess would have said were one of their more favorite bands really loving these 2 songs as much or more than anything we've done. So we feel really good about it. We feel like it's something that we could really stand behind. But the feedback's been really, I mean, to all of our fans have just been so encouraging and so on board. So it's awesome. We don't put anything out that we can't completely stand behind. So even if we put, like, maybe the next record is one where we jump the shark and everybody's like, oh, we just don't like My Epic anymore. But we'll still be able to say, like, no, we believed in that, and that was the best thing we could do, and we do not call it finished until we've put everything we can and we feel like it's the best we could possibly make. And we don't call a song done until we all feel like, yeah, it's exactly what we want it to be. We can stand behind it. Because if you're looking as an artist just to please other people, then you're going to be let down. Because eventually, even if you can make people happy, they'll eventually move on to something else. But if you always make art that you believe in, I think in the long run, other people believe in it too. So we just try to make art that we care about, that means something to us, to try to say what's on our hearts. And then if people like it, that's great. And if they don't, well, we made something we felt good about, and that's all we can really control.
You have to be your own biggest fan. So.
Yeah, and just believe in what. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I still think the gap between my favorite bands and our music is pretty significant. Maybe some other people don't, but I have to believe like this is the absolute best thing I can do right now. And so that's why I don't have many regrets about. I'm not too embarrassed about old stuff we've done, even if it's not quite up to par. It's like, well, that's the best thing I could make at that point in my life, and with the people that we had, you know, like with that producer and that version of the band at that age in my life, and with the lack of sleep and the lack of money, like that was the best thing we could do. And so that's all I can really promise is with anybody who cares about our band or is invested, like if we put something out, we believe in it, and otherwise it won't come out. We'd rather break up than put something out we don't believe in. But as far as breaking up, like we're just at this point in our lives, like we're all best friends and family, and we serve together and we hang out together. So it just is natural. We just keep making music together. It's not like if the band broke up tomorrow, we would stop being friends. So at this point, the band is my brother. He's been my brother for 30 of my 33 years, and one of my best friends of 13 years, and one of my really good friends of like 6 years. So even when the band isn't happening, we still hang out. So. It's more like it's more like the band grows out of the friendships, and not the friendships grow out of the band.
No, man, that's so good to hear. I love hearing that. Thanks for explaining that for going more in depth than that. Like, that's so good to hear that. To hear what you're doing. To hear that you love what you're doing, and you're with the people that you love doing it with. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's talk about shows. I know you guys have quite a few going up. I think you just started yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That's true. Yeah, we started our first full U.S. tour, well, mostly full U.S. tour in 4.5 years yesterday in Lynchburg, Virginia. And this tour runs until May 21st. It goes kind of weaves through a little bit through the Midwest. It starts. We're playing Pennsylvania tonight. It weaves through the Midwest. Then we go down south, play a bunch of shows like Oklahoma, and Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. And we go out to Space Down Fest in LA, and then we kind of come back. I think we hit Kansas City. It's a place people can look it up. It's online. They can go ahead and buy tickets. We love people to come out. We're not going to be a band that gets to tour a lot. So, and it's been 4.5 years since we've done it. So if people want to see us, if they're serious about wanting to see us live, they better take us up on it because we don't know how often we'll get to do this, and this is kind of a big experiment to try to. Okay, we're not going to play a bunch of. I mean, we've been basically for the last few years we've just been playing flat dates and festivals, and that's been cool, but it's tiring. You do a lot of work for one show, and also it's a bummer because you never quite feel like you're on your A game. When you get out on tour, even if you're a great musician, after a couple of days, everything starts to click, and you feel like you're doing a better job at being a band anyway. So it's like, well, let's try something different for the next couple of years and try to do just 1 3-week tour a year. I think we can play better and see more people, and then we can kind of go back to the rest of our lives for a few months and not think about it, but it'd still be a really important part. So, yeah, we're on tour. We really want people to come out, bring their friends. But, I mean, if they can get near us, if we're playing within 4 or 5 hours, then it's probably going to be the only time that happens for a long time. So we hope they'll come out.
Is there a specific upcoming show that you're really excited to play, or a city that you're really excited to play?
Man, to be honest, we're excited about all of them. I mean, Face Down Fest is always a blast, and there's definitely some cities that usually are good shows. And like at this point in our career, we have friends in almost everywhere we go, so it's exciting to see those people. But to be honest, our mentality's always been, I mean, here's the thing: like when you're in a band, people come to see you play the songs you wrote, and we made that stuff up. Like people are coming to see something we just made up. It's like it's almost like make believe. So in some sense, we've always kind of put our arms around each other almost before every show and said, even our first show, this could be the last time we get to do this. Like before we ever had a record deal or anything, you know, we feel really blessed to get to do what we get to do, even if anybody cares. So my mentality is always, why would anybody show up tonight? We made these songs up, and they don't know us. So when anybody comes, it's a huge blessing, and we get to always be stoked, whatever happens. So we just feel so thankful to get to do it. I mean, I think one of the benefits we had of not starting young or touring young was we weren't touring until we were like in our mid-20s, and that kind of gave us more a sense of scope of like, hey man, this is a really cool thing we get to do, and let's just enjoy it instead of being obsessed with what we want to happen or what could happen, and just enjoy it. So man, honestly, we're just excited to play it all. I'm excited that anybody would come and just pumped to see people and hope that it's valuable to them and that they enjoy it, and if it's important that they'll come out and hang.
You summed everything up perfectly, man. Is there anything else you want to say? Anything else you guys have planned for 2016? This is your last chance. Go for it.
No, man. I mean, just buy Viscera. Please pre-order it. It helps us out a lot if you buy it pre-order, or they've got some great packages online with like CDs and vinyls and T-shirts. Really good deal. I honestly don't care about making money. But I would really love for our the only 2 things I care about is that our label not lose money because we love those people. And thankfully, for a long time, they haven't. And secondly, just that the things that were on our heart and the art that we've made, the people would hear it and it would affect them. So that's my only pitch. Like, it's something we believe in. We made the best thing we could. It's very important to us. We think it's significant, and we hope people will pick it up. Maybe it's not the best songs ever, the best band ever, but it's something we believe in. And so we hope they'll pick it up. It's called Viscera, and it's out May 6th, but please buy it early. And if you love a band, just pre-order their CD or order it the week it comes out, because it helps bands so much the first week of release. It makes such a big difference. And other than that, just we hope to see you soon at the show. And thanks for everybody out there for supporting us and for checking us out for the first time.
Yeah, man, you said it all perfectly. Like you said, you guys pick up Viscera. It is out May 6th. Let us know what you guys think of My Epic in the comments section below. Give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. This has been Corey with Concert Crap, and we will see you guys next time.